Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey, and I hope you're having a wonderful hump day. It's Wednesday, you guys. It's time to go out there and hump. Go do your Joe Biden best to have a good time, guys. And there it is, YouTube. There's my opening. I can say fuck now. How the fuck are y'all doing? I'm annoyed. This time it's not Twitter. I've got to stop checking the monetization status of my videos before I get on the air. And I've told you guys before, I don't make money off the monetization, so I really don't care about that. I'm not kidding. I don't. You guys are how I make my money on YouTube, and I appreciate you guys. Speaking of which, I'm brought to you by you, if you didn't know. But I don't care about the money part of it. But I would like to know what fucking rules I'm playing with here. I'm so goddamn confused, you guys, because it's no longer hateful content. It's not hateful content. It's the adult subjects or the sensitive subject matter, whatever the hell it is. There's two different ones there. There's adult, which has like talking about sex. Didn't get hit on that one. Haven't been hit on that one yet. But the sensitive subjects, it's terrorist acts and loss of life, massive loss of life, that kind of thing. And then the second thing you can choose under that one is sensitive subjects, including things like, or those subjects not mentioned above, but including things like COVID. And I'm thinking about what the fuck I've talked about over the last couple of days. Like the last 5 streams have all been hit. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck have I talked about? The closest you can come to loss of life other than COVID, I'll get to that in a minute, is the flu of 1912. Is that really too sensitive to talk about? Sorry, 1918. Is that really too sensitive to talk about? Are we not allowed to bring up the flu of 1918? Wait, why can't I get Jack in the stream here? There it is. Hey, Jack, how you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
Confused.
This normal state of my being for the past weeks.
I'm so very confused. Okay, so as I was telling the audience here, I've had several videos monetized and several not monetized under the new system.
Uh-huh.
The ones, the most recent ones, I have like 5 in a row, all demonetized, right?
Yeah.
Talking about either terroristic acts or great loss of life kind of thing. Now, there's a second choice you can make under there, which specifically mentions it's okay to talk about COVID. But under the same system, Jack, I've had them greenlit when we've talked about COVID. So I feel like COVID can't be the thing. We've talked about COVID every fucking night. I'm just confused. I just want to know what the rules are so I can dance right up to the edge without going over.
Look, the rules are what we dictate them to be, and it changes daily. So keep up, citizen.
At least update them so I can see it. Jesus Christ. Somebody remind me not to check that shit before I go live. Anyway, Jack, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Well, you know, I'm sleeping way too much. I slept 10 hours today.
Nice.
No. There's something wrong. When I sleep 12 hours and then 10, something's wrong.
Well, when was the last time you fell down the stairs?
Maybe a week ago. Somebody tell me. It wasn't that long ago, was it, guys?
Well, I suspect it was probably closer to the time frame in which you've been sleeping a lot. Your body's like, we need to heal.
Could be that. I'm also happy, though, Jack.
Yeah?
I got word my daughter's coming up this weekend.
Oh, nice.
Nobody tell my governor. Because that bitch will probably arrest him on the way.
Yeah.
Is the 5-year-old with him? We'll put her in jail, too.
They probably would.
They would.
Did you see my little tirade about the lady that got sent to jail for 7 days for reopening her hair salon in Texas?
No, but let's talk about that, shall we? I didn't see your tirade, and I'll let you go on that tirade. Ladies and gentlemen, this lady in Texas opened her beauty salon and actually was arrested for it and charged. And because she refused to say she was wrong to the judge threw her in jail for 7 days.
Yeah, this is the type of fascistic shit that'll get you the boogaloo.
Yeah.
The judge just arbitrarily threw her in jail because she refused to apologize.
Yep.
There's no real legislation law saying that he can do this to begin with, because the governor came out and said nobody's supposed to be open, but to throw someone in jail for this is a total abuse of power, and not only on the judge but also for the governor if he's pushing this shit. If they're going to keep this up, there's going to be protests and they're going to get violent because people are getting sick of getting pushed around and they have way too much free time to sit around and dwell on this. I mean, people have to feed their fucking families. And if you can't grasp that, I'm sorry, you are far removed from your constituencies.
Jay Case, thank you so much, who says, enjoy your show, brother. I need a sanity safe space. I'm on the California coast, minutes from Silicon Valley. I don't fit in well. Appreciate the outlet. I appreciate both your very generous donation there and you watching.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry you have to live with a bunch of fucking weirdos.
Wait, do you work in Silicon Valley? Here's what I'm thinking, Jack. I know a lot of places, those tech companies, they always have whiteboards around.
Okay.
Don't let anybody see you do it, but put the web address of the channel. In dry erase. Don't vandalize the place.
It's like you're trying to lose your channel now.
No, with that's fair. I mean, it's not vandalism if it's a whiteboard and it's a dry erase.
No, the more attention you bring to yourself, the more likely it is you're going to get targeted.
If anybody happens to work at YouTube and you run across a dry erase board, anyhow, where was this at again? This was in
it was in Dallas.
Dallas.
Yeah. Which used to be a pretty big bastion of freedom, but they've been infected by the Austin plague of Californians and other weirdo hippies. Morning, Stargazer.
Good morning, Nuts. Should we listen to her response to what the judge said to her?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
All right, let's whoops, I forgot to switch it to the other screen, Jack. Hang on. Ooh, there we are. And we'll make that big because Monkey does everything big. Volume up as high as it'll go.
Judge, I would like to say that I have much respect for this court and laws, and that I've never been in this position before, and it's not some place that I want to be.
And yes, this was a court done through Zoom. I just want to point that out to the people. This is not a joke. This is how it was done.
But I have to disagree with you, sir, when you say that I'm selfish, because feeding my kids is not selfish. I have hairstylists that are going hungry because they'd rather feed their kids. So, sir, if you think the law is more important than kids getting fed, then please go ahead with your decision, but I am not going to shut the salon.
Proceed.
There it is.
Yeah.
He called her selfish for this, guys. I forgot that part. Yeah.
Yeah, he called her selfish and insisted she apologized and admit her wrongdoing. And that is scary stuff because she is not committing an actual crime.
No.
Yeah, maybe a moral one if you think that she's putting people at risk or whatever. But this is scary stuff that the government could do this sort of thing and just on a whim throw you in jail because you didn't apologize to them and admit that you're selfish.
He held her in contempt.
Yeah. And this is total bullshit. And I have a real problem with this. If this sort of thing keeps going, the fines are going to get bigger, the jail sentences are going to get longer, and the courts are going to be so out of touch with the average person that they're not going to see how badly they are riling people up. Remember that the American Revolution only had 10% of the population opposed to the British when that started. This is a very dangerous type of precedent to set. And I think it's foolish. And I have seen an insane amount of people shitting all over this woman, saying that she deserved it because she rents out her booth space to the stylists.
Christina says that her GoFundMe is now at 150K. I hope so. Because here's the thing. I don't care if that is a murderer there. The judge cannot compel speech.
Yes. Which
This
is exactly what he was demanding.
Yes, this is a blatant fucking violation of the First Amendment. This motherfucker needs disbarred over this. Nope. Thank you. Jack, did you like the treadmill GoFundMe for those Texas sheriffs?
Yeah, it was awesome. There's a couple of big fat fatties on the SWAT team. Somebody started a GoFundMe for a treadmill for them.
Nice. No, I don't disagree with anything you've said so far, Jack. This is ridiculous. And with the added bonus of, this is a complete violation of your First Amendment. A judge cannot compel speech like that. They can give you the chance to speak, but they cannot say you have to say this or else.
Yeah, and that is the type of authoritarianism that this country was founded on fighting, because that's the type of shit that King George would do. You have to remember that. Thank you, Evil One. The people that are more prone to violence now have nothing to distract them. And they're watching this. They're already suspicious of the government. They're sitting there with their time. They don't have sports to watch. Everything's a rerun. No new stuff is really coming out. They can't go anywhere. So they have a lot of time to live in their heads. And that is an incredibly dangerous thing. Idle hands of the devil play things is really not just a saying. It's very true. If you have a lot of time on your hands, you start thinking a lot about what's happening around you. And people that are even slightly unstable seeing this are going to be compelled to act. Shit, normal people are getting fed up with this. Can you imagine what the really disturbed people are thinking?
Oh, yeah.
Especially when a lot of this sort of thing is happening around the anniversary of Waco and some of the other more authoritarian incidents. They're thinking about these things, and it's going to encourage them to have a response. And you think that a bunch of people standing around with rifles slung over their back at the Michigan Capitol building where nothing bad happened is a problem? Yeah, keep pushing this line, idiots. It's like they're encouraging this so they can drop the hammer even harder on people.
Where was that door greeter killed?
I don't remember.
Yeah, wherever it was at. I can't remember what state or what kind of store.
It was a Dollar General.
Dollar General. They asked the guy, hey, you don't have a mask on. And he ended up getting shot.
Yeah, it was Michigan.
Oh, makes sense. They're scaring the shit out of people. Let me give you an example of them scaring the shit out of people, Jack. This is a story that was released today down in Florida. One day after reopening, Florida recorded a record number of new deaths Tuesday from the novel coronavirus. Yes, the day the beaches opened, that caused everyone to die. Now, in the story, of course, they don't say it that way.
No, of course not. But it's the headline. They're going for the shock value because they know most people, if they read beyond the headline, it's only the first paragraph.
You're scaring the shit out of people.
Yeah.
Still.
They're trying to gin up fear so that people will comply. That doesn't work in the States. That shit works in Europe because all their people with balls almost all left and came here. You know, we are not. Yes. This is wrangling wildcats.
Yeah. Welcome to the Wild West, motherfuckers. That's not how it works.
Yeah, that type of draconian bullshit doesn't fly here. We have a history of being able to do what we want and kind of freedom of association and assembly and all those silly rights that piece of paper says we have. But they are going against every single one of them in order to try and, quote, save people. Life isn't safe, except that. I don't know why that concept is so hard for people. All life is risk and danger. You can get hit by a car that is just randomly out of nowhere, shows up driving and weaving, and you could be on the sidewalk. You might be in your home and a plane falls on you. You don't fucking know.
I'll tell you why they don't. Because we live in too safe of a society.
It is. And the more they push it, yeah, sorry, Joe, it's not, we didn't get everybody's balls, just a lot of them. Australia got a bunch too. Because they were like, you guys are rowdy, go over there and play.
Yeah. We still need some law and order. You guys go down that way.
Yeah, so all the fun people are really limited to 2 continents at this point. No offense, but this is where the party's happening, and I'm real concerned that they're pushing the line with how much this crap is going to be tolerated before there's a lot more violence and pushback. I mean, if this keeps up, you're going to have riots because people can't afford food anymore because they're not working.
Well, that's real quick. Let me get this over here. Cult of Krill, thank you so very much. Welcome to propaganda, or welcome to more propaganda. RE Rona death. Virginia's counting 3 deaths per person if one person tests positive 3 times. Oh, nonsense. That would mean they're losing a quarter of their population overall, eventually. Thank you for the donation, but I forgot what you were just saying and I lost my point.
That's all right. Volrusk, you're right. This is how you get the boogaloo because people are bored, they're hungry, and they're broke. Oh, they got nothing better to do than think about this stuff. And they're hungry because like the beef is going missing at this point because you don't have people that are healthy enough to work at the factories and nobody else can go get a job.
Well, this is one of the parts. There's so many things that judge said just pissed me the fuck off.
Yeah.
But called her selfish. Selfish. She's not doing this so she can like afford a 3rd yacht.
Yeah. But
she's not running a vanity campaign for president.
Yeah, but read the comments on some of those posts about her because there are people saying that she is being selfish because she only worries about her family.
Cult of Krill says not nonsense. They get paid more per Rona death. Yeah, we saw was it that lady? Was it the chick from Virginia who came out and told us? Yeah, they're marking pretty much everything a coronavirus death.
Yeah. Yeah. Even if they weren't fully tested, they're presuming it to be.
Yep. Because they get more money from the federal government if it's a Rona death. No, if that's what you meant, I apologize. I didn't understand. But yeah, I saw that clip of that woman talking yesterday, and I was like, Jesus fuck. Yeah, they're not even hiding. They're telling us in plain sight, we're lying to you. And everybody's like, it's so scary. Everybody's dying.
That's the problem. They're playing on people's fear. But at some point, people stop being afraid and start we're getting afraid of other things, like not being able to pay their rent, being evicted, because now the government has you over a barrel. If you want this bailout, you will comply with us, or you're going to be homeless because we're going to allow evictions again. And then the people that don't have any money either have to comply and take the government cash, or they're going to be homeless because they can't pay their fucking rent that's behind, their back due rent. Because right now, evictions are suspended in most places. But if you couldn't pay your rent because you've been unemployed for 2 or 3 months and you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're in a really dangerous spot. I mean, so I'm very upset about this because I can see where this can go very, very badly, especially the more bullshit propaganda they keep pumping and the more power that these governors, judges, and cops keep taking, the liberties they're taking with our civil rights. That's going to get people killed, and that'll give them another reason to crack down even harder. And then you're going to see troops on the street because there's not enough cops to contain all of these people that are upset. And once the cops start getting shot, they'll call in the National Guard, and Kent State will look like a fucking walk in the park.
I wish I had a camera on so you guys could see me just sitting here actually nodding. I agree with you completely, my friend.
You remember when was it Ferguson riots and they had the armored vehicles out, the MRAPs and all that? The cops were sitting up there and some of them were pointing the 50 cals at the reporters. Imagine a situation where there is way broader riots in like suburbia and they roll those out on the street. Armored vehicles, whether it's the cops or the military, doesn't matter. If they put that presence out there, the optics alone are going to get people killed.
I wish I was looking for this while you were in mid-rant because I want to find that. Does anybody have the video of that? She's a black lady who's a representative from some state. I forget who she is, where she actually told us they're classifying everything as a coronavirus death. It was on Twitter earlier today. But I don't think I marked it. Did anybody respond to that where they can find it quickly? Because you guys have to see this shit. We've been talking about this for how long now, Jack? A couple of weeks?
Yeah.
About them padding the fucking numbers, and they're finally actually coming out and admitting, yeah, we're padding the numbers.
Yeah, but nobody seems to give a damn because it's about money.
The Beetlejuice looking lady, I didn't pay that much attention. I was listening to what she said rather than watching. Cult of Krill, thank you so much. Who says, let me get back over onto this. Did you see the MRAP brought into Houston after Abbott opened up Texas? What is an MARP?
That's an MRAP. It's an armored transport.
What you were talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see the MRAP brought into Houston after Abbott opened up Texas? Those sheriffs were fat as fuck. I'm guessing those are the ones that needed the
treadmill. Yeah.
The treadmill. And Jar Jar Binks, thank you so much. If Trump started using China's business policy of how a business can be set up in the country, will it help or hurt since trade is essential both ways?
It would probably hurt us more than help us.
I'm not sure what business policy he's talking about.
China has a policy where if you want to do business in the country, you have to work with a Chinese company, which is usually owned by the government. So they own a percentage of what you're getting.
Oh, yeah. No, that would not be a good idea at all.
I don't think that would work here. There's just too many people would be against it. But yeah, imagine the scenario, okay? I think this is a pretty good likelihood. You have a riot or a peaceable assembly in Michigan, in Lansing, right? Mm-hmm. And that they call a riot. Maybe a fist fight breaks out between some jackass counter protesters and things go south. They call out the SWAT teams or the National Guard to go in and contain things. Somebody throws a rock or a bottle. Doesn't even have to be an actual protester. Could be Antifa or somebody like them. Somebody gets shot. How is that going to look to the average person that some rando got shot by a National Guardsman or a SWAT team member next to an armored vehicle or in an armored vehicle? The average person seeing that, just stumbling across it on one of the social media sites, which I think is why a lot of this stuff is getting scrubbed, is going to think, oh my God, they're turning against us. You will radicalize the people you are trying to allegedly save. And that concerns me greatly because nobody wants to go through. If you've ever been in like a street brawl, like a big street brawl, it's a dangerous situation where anyone can get hurt. And if you start putting that in major cities, you've got serious damage, not only to buildings, people's lives, but the loss of life on every side is just going to entrench people further and make them angrier. And then you've got a powder keg and things will go really wrong. Russia doesn't have to fucking do anything. The government is doing it for them.
Jar Jar Binks, thank you so much. Peaceable assembly with assault rifles. Meh, welcome to Detroit.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying that this is a possibility, and it concerns me that this could get out of hand. I don't want to see that because too many people will end up dead that are completely innocent.
I just want to see people allowed to go back to life.
That's what most people want, but they're seizing so much power that they don't seem to understand. All people want is to go back to trying to live their life. They'll socially distance, they'll wear the masks, they'll wash their hands. People, as a general rule, are trainable and responsible. So, or at least they try to be, as a general rule. I mean, we've all been to Walmart, so we know it doesn't apply to everyone.
Sure.
But if you want things to even remotely go back to normal, you have to ease off this pressure that the government seems diehard set on pushing. And it's not even the feds, like everybody would expect. It's all these local and state-run agencies that seem to think that they are all these tin pot dictators of third world countries, that their whims are more important than your constitutional rights. I think it's really, really scary time. And if they keep pushing this, I don't think they realize how badly people are taking these actions when they see them happening to some like random salon owner. Like, this lady's just doing hair. Fuck off. She can wear a mask. Her clients can wear a mask. It's not going to affect the way she cuts hair. Give me a fucking break. We are not all under house arrest. You don't quarantine healthy people. You quarantine the sick. Anybody who even spends 10 seconds looking the word quarantine up will know that. You quarantine sick people. You don't house arrest everyone. You have no authority to do that. And by doing this, you end up with things like what happened to Dollar General, what happened with the salon lady, and it's going to keep happening. And I'm really pissed off about this because you can see it coming, and they don't want to listen. They either have their blinders on or they want people to get killed. I don't know which. And I'm maybe a little bit angry about this.
You seem a little bit angry, but that's okay. It's this is something that should anger people. You're actually, this might sound weird, but you're giving me hope, Jack. For me, this comes in like I said, more of the First Amendment issue, because you're literally talking about forcing her to speak, but when you're also telling them you can't run your you can't run your business, fucker. How dare you even consider doing something like that to feed your family, you selfish bitch? The fuck is wrong with you?
Because you're not thinking for the collective, is how that sounds. That's communist bullshit. I don't have to care about other people. This country was founded on individuality. And if you don't understand that, why are you a judge? Fuck that guy. I hope he loses office, because he should. He's a piece of shit. And he did something completely against the Constitution and against what this country stands for by locking somebody up for doing a perfectly legal activity. Fuck that guy. Fuck his abuse of power. And I hope he steps on a Lego tonight.
It jams up his butt and never comes out. I'm going to see if I can find this going through my history, because I want you guys to understand we are not making this up. And when YouTube comes and looks at us, no, look, we're telling what these fuckers actually said.
Yeah, but the problem is that places like this platform are more than happy to censor ideas they find distasteful. I'm not encouraging these bad things to happen. I don't want them to happen. I've seen people get hurt. It's not pretty. It's not fun. It is not an action movie. It's very disturbing to see, and I don't want anyone seeing that. And anybody that's ex-military that's seen combat will understand what I'm talking about, hopefully, and say, we don't want to see that on our shores. We don't want to see innocent people get hurt because the government thinks that they can push us around and dictate every aspect of our life. They work for us, not the other way around.
Thank you, Cult of Krill, over here on the Streamlabs, who says the most effective defensive anti-personnel army weapon ever created was the M18 Claymore mine. It's basically a couple hundred ball bearings with a major explosive force behind it. It's not that hard to build one. Yeah, I've never tried. I know what they are. My grandfather and father rolling in their grave. You know, yeah, my grandfather, my father, several of my uncles, all of them served in the military. And as liberal as my dad was, he was still, free speech, let people do their own thing kind of thing,
My dad was ex-military, and he only did a couple years back in the 60s, but he's also big on like Law and Order, that sort of thing. He's been watching more of the news, and I've been watching with him occasionally, spend some time with him. And he's like, I've never in my wildest imagination dreamed that we would see the type of overstepping they're doing. And I have to agree with him. I mean, he's in his 80s, so he's really worried about this too. But a lot of my friends tell me I'm overreacting. And I'm like, I don't think you get it. There's a lot of angry people out there.
Yeah, I don't think you're overreacting. I think we're still a little ways off from it being a full-blown street war kind of thing.
Oh, I do too, but they keep pushing it. It's going to get here. And that's what worries me is they keep encouraging people to surrender more of their rights, and they're pushing for more of this authoritarian crackdown on people that are upset. You have to let people vent, or you end up with a powder keg. You can't keep applying pressure.
Jar Jar Binks, thank you. Jack, I completely agree, but what good is a constitution when your medical system has overrun your economy in shambles and your markets crash? Will individuality be enough to save America at that point?
Well, that's just it. We don't know what's going to happen. And yeah, I don't want the medical system overrun either. But there has to be a happy medium where people can do some kind of work and make money. At some point, you have to keep things going, and people have to go back to work whether they want to or not, just to maintain livelihood. The government can't keep printing money. It's unsustainable. The money will be worthless. And it's a fine tightrope line between safety and dying of something else like starvation. You can't have a completely safe society. It's just not going to happen.
To that question, our medical system's not overrun right now. That was the worry. That was the whole point of flatten the curve, is to make sure it didn't get overrun. It wasn't to stop the virus, for those of you who thought that's what it was. Crowder, I believe, is the one who's been pushing that lately. And yeah, I thought everybody knew that until he started talking about it. I'm like, wait, didn't people know? Our hospital systems never got overrun. There's a couple of hospitals in New York that are saying they are right now. But you still got that big ass boat out in the middle of the water doing nothing.
Yeah, they took down the Samaritan Purse tents, and I think the boat in LA even left.
Because Cuomo was asking was it Cuomo or de Blasio? One of those two was asking if maybe they could keep the field hospitals up for a little bit longer, but they're not using them. They wanted to keep up. What's that big center that they turned into a hospital?
Oh, I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, there's some center out there that they turned into a hospital. Like, can you please keep that? It's being staffed by military personnel, if I remember correctly. We don't need them. It's all just to scare people. That's not to say nobody's dying, guys. Please, I don't. Monkey said nobody's dying. We don't need hospital. Not what I'm saying at all. They're just not being overrun. Do you remember the one story? What was it? CBS? ABC, one of those idiots who ran the hospital in New York is being overrun and then showed a picture of an Italian hospital.
Yeah, they did that a couple times. Same footage. It was CBS.
The Javits Center. Thank you, David.
Yeah, look, I understand the need to be prepared for a pandemic, but so far this hasn't played out quite like they thought it would. It'll probably be a little worse in the fall. And yeah, we are going to lose people. It's going to be awful. The number of deaths is pretty bad, but it depends. Are we going to have herd immunity? How resistant will you be to a secondary infection? Evolve's right. It'll be overrun with stupid people and illegals if they make it free. I already see that at my local hospital as it is.
Yeah. And Cult of Krill said yes, it was CBS. Good. My memory is actually holding up pretty good tonight.
Yeah.
Not great, but pretty good for me.
No, not bad. Keep taking those vitamins.
Yeah. It's that super male vitality. Who is that sells that shit? Do they still sell it? I don't take any of that shit. Lady Monkey bought me vitamins one time and I took like 3 of them.
Oh, I got gummy vitamins. They're delicious. I would probably eat those all day if I thought I wouldn't get sick with them.
Yeah, I don't have the control. When I was a kid, if we had like Flintstones, man, I would eat like 4 or 5 of those at a pop.
Oh, yeah, those were awesome.
Oh, awesome. Flintstone vitamins, man. Dino tastes the best. I don't know why. He was infused with brontosaurus meat. The Executive Punk, thank you. Jack, Ranting Monkey, can we overcome without going full boog? If so, how do we do it? You know how we do it? We calm the fuck down.
Yeah. Try and stop living in fear.
Yep.
There's a difference between concern and fear. And you should be concerned about getting sick in any situation. But you take reasonable measures. You do what you can. You don't live in fear. You can't hide from everything, unfortunately. And yeah, this is a scary thing. But so far, it's not nearly as bad as what they said. So if you're at risk, take the precautions that you need to take to protect yourself as much as possible, but don't live in a state of total anxiety and fear.
I'm glad you said all that, because it reminded me, Jack. You reminded me.
Oh,
This is how you remind me. So we were asked yesterday if we watched Steven Crowder's latest video on the guy who started all this with the big numbers. And I mentioned I had seen the full, I think it's an hour and a half show that Steven did where they talk. Steven cuts up his show into segments to make videos out of. That's how he makes his videos most of the time. So I'd already seen it, but I heard this name on Twitter today. I'm like, is that the name? So I went and I watched the video again. It is the name. Coronavirus. Professor Neil Ferguson quits government role after undermining lockdown.
irony.
Oh, it gets even better. It gets even better. This shitbag not only broke social distancing, he had his married lover visit his home.
Wow.
That's what he broke quarantine for. The guy who's so scared of it. By the way, he's already had it, so he didn't think it was a big deal. That's his excuse. Like, yeah, okay, what's your excuse for banging the married chick or dude? I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know if it actually ever says. But yeah, he apologized. Like, go fuck yourself, man.
Yeah, what a scumbag. Yeah, see, that's the type of shit I'm talking about. If he's not worried enough to break quarantine to get some booty, I mean, if you're legitimately concerned about the safety of your family, you're not going to break quarantine to get laid. I'm sorry. Yeah. Not as a grown adult.
This dude's worried about spreading it to the whole of England because he is an English doctor. The whole of England. But not enough to stop that booty call, y'all.
Yeah. Look, I think the governments need to kind of calm down a little bit and stop being heavy-handed. And I think everybody else needs to just take sensible precautions. You know, wash your hands, wear gloves, masks, don't touch your face, social distancing, that sort of thing. Just common sense stuff you can do to minimize your risk. But we have to go back to work. You can't have a worldwide shutdown. And this guy is a fucking tool bag. And I'm glad he quit because he's obviously a fucking idiot.
We can't even get real numbers when you... I'm sorry, I don't have that video that I was trying to look for. Somebody sent me one. That's not the one that I was looking for. But this is a woman. She gets up there. She goes, look, even if they're in this hospital, if they're in that hospital dying of pneumonia when they got corona, they counted it as corona. If they were dying of cancer, Jack, they counted it as corona. If they were already dying from heart failure, but they caught the corona, it was corona related. I wish I was making that up.
Well, and what gets me is they haven't determined if some of those people had antibodies. Like, did they already have it and get over it? Because a lot of people they're finding that are testing positive were actually people that had already had it and didn't know it.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of intentional misleading with these numbers that is very, very annoying.
Well, it's not just annoying. This leads to the dangerous part that you've been talking about, because as you said, the way you get to this point is through fear. Yep. You can control people very, very easily if you scare the shit out of them.
Yeah, but for how long is another story. People won't stay afraid forever.
But see, here's the other part of that though, Jack. You have our country right now is rather divided. So it's very easy to take that, okay, the people who are like suddenly not afraid and just want to get back, those are those crazed Donald Trump supporting, Negro hating, bigoted, sexist, anti-Jew, Islamophobic assholes. That's almost a direct quote from something I read 2 nights ago.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Real quick on the Streamlabs. Thank you, Cult of Krill. I just realized I've never given money to Jack. My mom had a stroke a month ago, and I haven't been able to work for the last 3 months. I hope you enjoy this as I weep in my cereal.
Wow.
Ouch. That will haunt me.
Wow.
Thank you, Colt.
For his first donation to you, he plays the game very well.
Ouch.
Professor Chaos, thank you. I work in Dallas County. They're refusing to allow businesses to open per the governor's new order, even though actual deaths are low. Liberals run it. That's kind of what I was just talking about.
Yeah.
And two dudes and a Sasquatch. Thank you. Keep up the good work. Night, everyone. Good night, Sarah. I hope you have a good one.
Night, two dudes. And awesome name, by the way.
Yeah, it's a great name.
I like Sasquatch. So
I know you do. We have to get back to work. If you guys remember, I was the one saying we can't shut everything down like this. So it's not a surprise for me to be saying we need to open this shit back up.
Look, when the second quarter job numbers come out in a few months, that's really going to hit home for a lot of people because you're going to see exactly how many people are out of work. And they'll be fudging the numbers to make it a little more palatable. And it's still going to be bad. I mean, how many millions of people have filed for unemployment?
Last I heard, 30. Okay, let me rephrase that. I want to say I heard 30. I know for a fact I heard 24. I know for a fact I heard 24 million. And those were new jobless claims since Corona had started. Fucking Trump bucks. I wish I had money to flop around. Well, for a lot of people, it's not Trump bucks, man. The one thing that's probably saving us right now is the unemployment that they did.
Yeah.
That doesn't last forever. And when jobs don't come back in your 6 months, was it 6 months? 6 weeks? How long does unemployment last? I know they can extend it, but what is it normally?
Don't know. I think that varies.
I want to say it's 6 months. But anyway, once that runs out, I mean, these people, they're not going to have a source of income.
Yeah, and people are staggering along as it is because unemployment is not that much money, compared to what you're used to making.
Well, that right now they have that extra $600 that the feds are kicking in.
Yeah.
Which for a lot of people makes up everything, and that's fine. But again, until it runs out, because a lot of these businesses won't be opening again.
Yeah, and most businesses are small, so less than 200 people. Atheist Icon just said he lost his job, and I'm sorry, man, that really sucks. But
it does.
That's going to be a growing problem.
Mm-hmm. Jack, you seem like a reasonable guy, but let's be real. The average citizen doesn't understand quarterly figures. So if it can be buried in inane bullshit and clickbait, it will be. Oh, it's not going to be buried, though. That's the thing. Oh, punk. When he said that it'll be dressed up as well as it can be, that's from the administration. The press will have a fucking field day with it.
Yeah, because it makes President Trump look bad.
Yep.
So they're going to play it up. See,
that will
government's going to try and downplay it for various reasons, but the press are going to go after him like a beast because they want a deranged lunatic who's losing his mind in office, apparently. A different one.
Especially after what I'm going to talk about next. Go ahead.
No, that just worries me because, that there's so much that the press is trying to play up, and it's, I don't know. I'm very frustrated today after seeing some of the news.
Dude, the audience has been loving you. They've been absolutely loving you, and I've been able to just sit back and let my voice rest. This is awesome.
Yeah, I've been getting told to shut up all day. So
let it rain. But I want to talk about this. There's a couple of stories that kind of go together. Crystal is over at CNN is very upset because the Gallup poll for Donald Trump, his approval is back up to 49%. And his disapproval is at 47%, which puts him above the mean again. So he's at a plus one for president. And where was the one that's scaring the shit out of him? His job approval rating for independents. Where did that go? Shit, he doesn't have it in his. It's something like 47%, which is the highest he's ever rated with independents. So for I got to be honest with you, Jack, with all of the shit they've rained down on him, I thought for certain, okay, this is gonna be a rough month for Trump with the approval and everything. And maybe the people are smarter than I'm giving them credit for, because a lot of them look like they're going, oh no, fuck these guys. Fuck these guys. When you have 49% of the, and again, this isn't of the country, it's of the polls, but still, when you have, Chris goes, this might be an outlier. No, actually, the last one you guys danced all over, that one looks like the outlier, because all of the other ones seem to point to everybody thinking Trump's doing okay, and you guys are shitheads.
Yeah, I think Trump's handled this a lot more reasonably than a lot of people in the past would have. I mean, and especially if Hillary had been in office.
Yeah. But the other one that this one just annoyed the shit out of me. Aaron Rupar over there at Vox News tweeted out, asked by Acosta to explain the logic of phasing out the White House coronavirus task force while the pandemic is ongoing. Trump immediately pivots to talking about ventilators and testing and indicates his priority going forward will be rebuilding the economy. Now, you just heard this guy from Vox, what he said the president said, right? Let's actually watch what the president said. Since we can do that here, Jack.
And don't you want to hear from the experts?
I just want to say that we've done an incredible job on testing. With that being said, we have some additional, including antibody tests coming out. That will
Acosta hasn't got to his question.
Nobody's done the job we've done. Go ahead.
But don't you need to continue to meet with the task force to get this scientific expertise on?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the actual question. Don't you need to continue to meet with the task force to get to this? You ready for this pivot he's talking about?
We will have certain people, as an example, we have hospitals that we built. We have medical centers that we built. We have people on the task force that focus on that. We have people on the task force that's focused exclusively on ventilators. Well, we have more ventilators now than anybody in the world, and we're helping France. As you know, we're helping France, Italy, Spain, Nigeria. We're giving, I think, 250 to Nigeria. We have many countries that we're helping. But the ventilator problem is solved, so you don't need that. We have.
Did you catch that? It's not that he was switching to the ventilators. It's that we don't need that person in the task force anymore.
Yeah, because the
job's done.
They've already got. Yeah, his job's done. We've already got enough on hand, and it's not as bad as we thought it was going to be. He explained everything he was saying.
Yeah,
I think the press is going to get him reelected no matter what he does at this point, because he seems to be trying to handle this in a reasonable way, in a much more hands-off approach than what could have been done. This is not FDR. This is Donald Trump, and he's not trying to seize power. If he was going to, this would have been the perfect time to do it during this mess. He could have easily tried to seize power.
Certainly. And people would have cheered him for it. They were begging for him to do it.
Yeah, and he did. He left a lot up to the states and the governors, who are technically supposed to be the ones, the first line of defense, trying to keep the states safe. So, I mean, you don't have to like Trump. I'm not saying that. But I think he's doing not a terrible job. He fucked up a little bit at the beginning, sure. But who won it under these circumstances? This is almost unprecedented in the history of our country. There hasn't, aside from the 1918 problems, we haven't had anything that they were afraid of on this scale in well over 100 years. So, 1918 kind of caught them off guard with the Spanish flu. But this was kind of along those lines, and what they were worried about could have been disastrous. So he had the opportunity to really go full Caesar and seize lots of power, but he didn't. And say what you will about him, you kind of need to respect the fact that he didn't try and micromanage everything that way.
Random asks, are they mad that he actually cut a government position? Yes, that's exactly what they're mad about.
Yeah, these are big government authoritarians that think that elitists should be running everything. So, of course, they're mad about that.
Remember, these are the people who shouted from the rooftops that Trump had gotten rid of the Obama response team for infectious disease. And it's like, no, he just folded those people into there because they weren't really necessary in their own department.
Yeah.
They're still there. Almost all the people are still there. The head of the agency, whatever it is just no longer there because it was folded into another agency. Yeah, how dare you get rid of a government? Are you out of your mind? One day we all need to make jobs for the government. We all got to be out there working for them.
Yeah, if he could make it more efficient and streamline it so that there's less bureaucracy, I'm totally fine with that. There's a lot of waste in the government and bureaucrats that probably shouldn't have jobs.
Now, Jack, I want to. This is probably going to set you off again.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm kind of fiery
No,
tonight.
no. I'm saying that
I don't like yelling.
As a warning to you, my friend. I don't know if you saw this response to the Texas lady thing. The hypocrisy of Trump supporters is next level. This is directly in relationship to this woman who wanted to reopen her salon so that she could feed her children and hire her employees back. Not because she thinks everybody needs a haircut. And it's a picture of Kaepernick kneeling and says, "Son of a bitch traitor," and a woman holding a Confederate flag, wearing a MAGA hat, holding a sign that says, "I need a haircut," and underneath her it says 100% patriot. Yeah.
Yeah. Most people just want to be left alone and they want to do their job. They want to feel like they're achieving something. They want to feel like they are contributing and they're supporting their family and feel like they're a decent citizen, doing just getting by, doing their thing. They just want to be left alone. This lady didn't do anything wrong by opening her job up. People take pride in their work more often than not. Even if you hate your job, most of the time you're still trying. You need to work. You need to pay your bills. And doing that is far different than some multimillionaire who decided to look like he's supplicating himself during the national anthem as a fuck you to for a contract negotiation that he turned into some sort of crybaby movement. Fuck Kaepernick. He's a child, mentally and emotionally. People that want to go back to work are not children. They're responsible adults. If the media can't see that, they're fucking stupid.
Thank you, the executive punk, who says, oh, by the way, he said he's Wrath. I remember you as your old name. Let's be honest, friends. The U.S. government has more bloatware than a new Galaxy S20. You're not wrong.
True.
You're not wrong. Yeah, this whole thing. When I read that one, I was like, oh, that's just dumb. That's just dumb. I know what you're trying to do there. I know you're trying to. This guy kneeling for civil rights who wasn't. You just obviously don't know what he was really doing there. Which, by the way, I laid out in a video. You can find it out on the internet somewhere. Versus this woman who literally just wants to be able to feed her children. Which one of those is the real patriot? You know what? Now, I like how they put the Confederate flag in her hand. So far in any of the protests we've seen, there have been 2 Confederate flags that I've seen. One, I don't know the guy's affiliation. The other one is the guy that we saw that people had tracked him down. He's actually a Bernie supporter. Yeah. He's your real American patriot there who likes to go to rallies for opening the government with a Confederate flag.
Yeah, because he's there to sow dissent and to make it look like the entire movement is like what he's portraying himself as. Because he knows everybody will take a picture of the asshole with the Confederate flag and use that to smear the crowd. So he's a plant by the authoritarian commies that want to run things.
Yeah, speaking of Kaepernick, he's the very definition of astroturfing.
Yeah, and after seeing Kaepernick and don't forget about all the LeBron James and all those guys who went over to China were defending China's authoritarianism. I have no respect for sports players at all. I never did to begin with, but I have less now. And I think more people are getting fed up with this infestation of politics and some escapism that they just want to enjoy. You can't escape it now. It's in sports, it's in movies, it's on TV, it's all over the internet. They're censoring people that maybe you don't agree with, but you don't want to see gone. And if people don't start to wake up to this, we're going to live in a very scary future.
I need to correct something here in chat. Assassin of the Gray says, funny how a rich racist pulling the race card to keep from being cut from the team is a hero to the leftists. Oh, no, that's not even what he was doing. Do you know the whole story, Jay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Contract negotiation.
Colin Kaepernick, the 49ers had a really great year under him. I believe it was his first 2 years. They go to the Super Bowl, lose big, and then Kaepernick never really recovers as a quarterback. The Niners bring in another quarterback and make them the starter. Colin wants out of his contract so he can go somewhere else. That's when he started sitting. And he actually didn't start kneeling. He started sitting on the bench. And it took like 3-4 weeks before the press paid any attention to it. And it was only after somebody else told him, to look better if you kneel. And so he started kneeling. That's what happened in that situation. He wanted out of his contract. And so the Niners said, sure, fuck it. We'll let you out. And then they let him out of his contract, and nobody wanted to touch him because he had made himself toxic.
Yeah, because he's an idiot.
He's a goddamn moron. He had a wonderful contract. He was getting paid very, very well to sit on the bench. But he had like 2 or 3 more years left on his contract, and he wanted to become a free agent. So like, fuck it, fine.
I don't know, man. These people are fucking idiots. They're playing a very dangerous game by comparing average Joe citizen to some multimillionaire douchebag that's reviled in his own field.
Yeah, who was just looking to go make more money.
Yeah, he was already making millions of dollars beyond. He made more money in probably 3 games than I'll ever see in my entire life.
He got more money in the arbitration that went on because the arbitrators is that what he's called, an arbitrator?
Probably, yeah.
Sided with him, and the NFL gave him something like $20 million to shut the fuck up and go away.
Yeah, and people see that, they hear these numbers, and they know they'll never achieve that. And this guy's getting rewarded for being a whiny little crybaby. Same thing with all these other big celebrities and sports stars that are doing this. They're defending scumbag people. They hang out with ruthless dictators like Sean Penn, hanging out with that dude in Venezuela years ago.
Chavez. Hugo Chavez.
Yeah. It's hard to feel sorry for people that are that far removed from you. And after a while, you stop listening to them, especially now when I heard somewhere it takes a couple weeks to break a hobby or break a routine. So with things pretty well shut down now, there's going to be a lot of people that don't go back to the communist propaganda bullshit that's going on now that you're seeing from like Nike and the other sports celebrities. People aren't going to go see movies for some of these bullshit propaganda things. Look how bad that Terminator movie did and the Charlie's Angels and all these other woke films. People are starting to get kind of bored with it.
How about we change the subject just a little bit, Jack?
Okay.
I saw a tweet last night as we were logging off. Actually, was this 2 days ago now? I suppose it's 2 days ago now. This was Monday. This is from www.gov.uk.
Uh-oh.
This was tweeted out. The specific Twitter account is Department of Health and Social Care at DHSC.gov UK. This is the official government website. Blue check mark and all. See if you spot what made me go, huh? There's emerging evidence to suggest that coronavirus may be having a disproportionate impact on some ethnic groups. as well as certain genders. We're launching a review into the factors impacting health outcomes to address health inequalities.
So certain genders, there's only 2. So I'm not sure exactly what they're getting at with this.
I'm not either. We all know it's affecting men more. That's been the one consistent thing they've said since the beginning. But as well as certain genders. Oh boy. Oh boy. And that just makes me ask, so if you are a trans man, do you have a bigger chance of getting it?
Big throbbing chance. We're being serious again. Yeah.
I'm not. I can't take that serious. When you say something as well as certain genders, shut the fuck up.
Do they run this stuff through some algorithm that adds in dumb shit? Because you're supposed to be like a medical industry. Why don't you stick to the biological sciences instead of this made up foo-foo crap that just confuses people and makes them look at you weird?
This is the Department of Health and Social Care for the UK.
Yeah, I feel bad for the UK because they have crazy people running their stuff. This is why I'll never go to the UK. That and poverty. But primarily because they seem to be run by crazy people. Like, did all the characters from the Lewis Carroll books just wander out of the book one day and be like, we are in charge now, off with their heads?
What else did I have here? I didn't retweet very much, but I know I replied to a few things. There's that stupid motherfucker. There's that dumb motherfucker. That dumb one. Oh, no, I already did that one and did that one. I think I'm done. Yeah, I got them all. Okay. Just making sure. I don't want to miss anything. Because I like messing with stupid people, but that's all the stupid I had on Twitter today, Jack. And oh man. I wonder how bad the virus is hitting the attack helicopter gender. Probably pretty hard.
Well, hopefully they're still up in the air and above it, but you never know.
Faithless says they've got an unfamous AOC running their shit. That sucks. That sucks.
Merle said that Drunken Uncle should take over, and Ryan said he thinks the powder from their wigs is causing cognitive problems.
That could be. I mean, when your health department is coming out saying that there's a health impact to certain genders,
we know you mean men, okay?
just say men.
Yeah, there's only 2. You flip a coin and you got a 50-50 chance of being right.
It's like saying, okay, certain genders are affected by prostate cancer.
A certain gender, it has a vagina. That's called women.
Huh.
Why are these people so dumb?
To give us something to talk about.
I guess to get us in trouble with YouTube. And why do I have cat fur all over my leg? Huh.
I watched Hunter Avalon's newest video, and he said something that really made me go, huh?
What did that little?
Well, he's trying to prove his bona fides with the left, man. He's going after the people who have a problem with the change of the Land O'Lakes logo.
Are you fucking serious?
No,
That's
yeah,
still a thing?
I swear to God. Well, that he did a video where he highlighted some Twitter commenters, and he said this, Jack. Are you fucking kidding me? We have a fucking pandemic going on, and you're worried about this? To which I just couldn't help but think, we have a pandemic going on, and you're worried about them worried about this? I mean, only seems fair. But yeah, it's just full blown. Look at them. They've become the snowflakes. People are allowed to get mad at stuff without being snowflakes.
Brown cat. I do not own a cat. There's a stray cat I was playing with earlier. I forgot about that. Look, I don't know what the hell's going on with that idiot. He probably doesn't know that the person that drew the Land O'Lakes lady was an American Indian.
Oh, no. You see, since Land O'Lakes said they're coming out and they really want to highlight the farmers of their co-op, that's the important thing.
That sounds like a bunch of commie bullshit.
That they did like all white people and got rid of the Indian, that's nothing to worry about. Don't worry about that at all.
She's a classic, iconic character. I don't know why they'd get rid of her. I mean, that is a recognizable thing for your brand. Now all their boxes look generic and dumb.
And look, guys, if you don't want to buy it because of that, that's your choice. You want to boycott them. I'm not a fan of boycotts. If I ate Land O'Lakes butter, this wouldn't stop me from eating Land O'Lakes butter. But you know what it's not going to do? It's not going to get people who didn't eat it to start eating it because you took the chick off there. Your vegan pussies still aren't going to eat it because it's made with milk.
Yeah.
Your fucknut liberals who've been whining about, oh my God, they're exploiting that Indian. They're not coming to take your product. They're not.
Yeah. Faithless pointed out they removed an Indian from their land.
Yeah.
I made that joke on Twitter, and I'm still getting shit for it.
I don't like woke culture, man.
I don't either. I'm tired of these cry bullies.
My favorite part of the video, though, is he just accepts, Lando, we just want to highlight our co-op people. Like they were going to come out and say, we've heard so much bitching about this fucking Indian. We've decided to whitewash her away. Because they've literally done that, too, because that part behind her, white. They done whitewashed the Indian chick away, kicked her off the land. Yeah. But I just love that line. This is what you're worried about in a pandemic? I'm like, this is what you're worried about in a pandemic? I mean, pot kettle? Have you met each other yet? Oh, man. I watched a lot of videos today. I don't remember half of them, though. I should probably pay attention to them instead of playing video games.
At this point, it's probably overrated.
Excuse me. Jack, that's funny. I got a good one. Why did natives hate snow so much? Because it's widened us on their land? I'm not sure what that means. Another Indian sheds a tear. No, another Italian sheds a tear. Michael. Hi, Abby.
I'm still waiting for Elizabeth Warren's take on this whole controversy.
Wouldn't it be great if they put her on the box instead?
I saw somebody Photoshop that. I thought it was funny.
Oh, that would be awesome. I would retweet that shit. I don't mind if people do change their characters, but I've never seen it really go over well for them.
No, it always backfires. Just leave your logo alone. If it's working, it's fine. If anything, if they wanted to highlight their co-op, they should have had the Indian driving a combine. That would have been fun. Have her doing different things. But there was nothing wrong with the image. She's just sitting there holding butter. Who fucking cares? People that had the time to bitch about this are obviously weirdos. Not like us. We're different kind of weirdos.
Yeah, we got nothing else to do.
Yeah, we're unemployed. There's no jobs to go to anyway.
I wanted to be making butter.
Right? Over on the Streamlabs, thank you, Shio. They'll take away the Indian lady, but much like the government, you notice they kept the, quote, land. Also, Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben, when?
Yes. They changed them already.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Oh, no, they haven't. No, the article I read said that there's still a big push to change them. That's right.
Yeah, as long as they stick with those, I think I won't be as furious. But I think it's dumb to get rid of the corporate logo that you're known for, especially because they're not racist. It's not like they're doing something completely, blatantly, grossly racist. The one's just holding butter. The other one makes delicious pancakes. And the other guy sells rice. I don't understand.
Frank Hubbard, thank you. How long before the Redskins cave? They probably won't until new ownership. The owner's pretty much like, nah, we're sticking with this. You can update your logo, Jack, but you got to keep it same enough that people recognize it.
Yeah.
Unless you're somebody like Coke and Pepsi that just plaster that shit everywhere, so when it changes a little bit, like, oh, there's the new Coke. All right. We all remember that time Ronald McDonald's was replaced with Pennywise. Did not end well. Don't open that Happy Meal. The people bitching about the Indian on their logo can't afford it anyway. They buy generic. No, most of them can afford much, much more expensive. You got to remember, that's a woke thing to do, man. You go buy that with mommy and daddy's money. But Mom, I wanted the Land O'Lakes. They won't buy it anyway because they're a bunch of pussy-ass vegans.
Yeah.
That comes from cow rape, guys. I'm not joking when I say cow rape. Look it up. That's what they think. It is cow rape. It gives you milk and butter and cheese. Mrs. Butterworth is obviously a woman of color. Well, yeah, that's a dark brown bottle. I don't. I'm okay with people who have minor complaints during a pandemic. Are you, Jack?
No, I think it's a healthy thing to do to try and take your mind off things. If you sit around and dwell on everything that's going on around you that's bad, you're going to drive yourself crazy. But you have to have little distractions, and if they want to complain about this, it's fine. Who cares?
Well, I've seen this a lot. I mean, when there's something going, how can you think, how dare you whine about something like there's a war going on? That used to be something people said. There's been a war going on for like 30 fucking years now or whatever it's been.
There's a war going on somewhere in the world every day.
Yeah. How can you think about this when there's a fucking war going on?
Yeah, I remember there's starving children in Africa. There's locusts. I mean, there's awful shit everywhere. Just because you notice it and dwell on it doesn't mean I have to. And you know that
it's such a facetious bullshit argument.
Yeah, it's why aren't you afraid of everything I'm afraid of? Why aren't you angry about what I'm angry about? If you're not angry about the same thing, that's cool, man. I'm fine with that. But some people just cannot accept that.
Now, if you want to make the argument like this is what's important in your life, all right, I can hear that. But when there's a pandemic going on, well, if you're not actually sick from it or anybody you know is sick from it, then it's really not affecting you at the moment. Other than you not being able to go back to work. And I'd be interested to hear Hunter's views on whether or not people can go back to work. Hunter, check with Vosh. Let him know what you're supposed to say. Jeff Holiday pulled the same shit when Ariel Scarcella was complaining about genders, and when I repeated the same argument to Jeff, he blocked me. That's Jeff, man. I mean, look, there's people out there that if you argue with them, they're going to block you. I mean,
that just tells me their argument isn't all that great, or they just don't feel like addressing anything. And that you don't have to respond to someone that sends you a message, but blocking them is a little childish. Unless they're being assholes about it. I don't see the point.
Again, for me, Jack, I just mute because I'm not a pussy. If you want to read what I say, I don't give a fuck. Read what I say. Come over here, I'll fucking tell you what I said.
Yeah, we
don't read what I said, bitch. Come listen to it. Because I will tell you.
There's way more context to be had on a live stream than there is on Twitter with their limited characters where you're not going to get much done.
I saw in New York a judge has ruled that they will have voting, Jack.
I saw that. They're going to force them to do the primary that isn't going to matter at all anymore.
Yes. Except there's more to it than that. IJ, thank you so much. Who says, hey, Monk, were you able to look into the stuff I told you about? And my birthday is tomorrow. Remind me tomorrow and I'll sing. Are you going to be here tomorrow? Or do you want me to sing right now? I'll do it right now. I will do it right now. and stuff you told me to look into. I don't remember. I want to say yes, I did, but I don't remember what it was. Yeah, so New York State was trying to just cancel their whole primary, remove everybody from the ballot who's not still running. The problem is those people still get delegates. And having delegates gives you power. Gives you power to leverage for the entire party platform going into the general election. It also depending, I don't know if New York has any on there, but in some states and in some municipalities, there's ballot proposals and stuff that are on there. So, I'm fine with them voting. I think it's sad that they're shutting down voting and everybody's like, yes, shut it down. Like, aren't you the motherfuckers who are all about this is literal disenfranchisement. The word you guys have loved since Bush.
Yeah.
Now, technically, this isn't real voting, at least for the Democrat or the Republican, but because you're just kind of giving your opinion in the primaries. Because again, these are private groups that can decide who they want to be their representative. That reminds me, Jack. Somebody sent us something at the beginning of this stream, and I need to see if it's actually true.
It was about how awesome I am because it's totes true then.
I know that's true, but no, that's not what it was about. Where's that at? I think it's Professor Chaos sent it. Where's that at? Let me scroll down. There it is. Blow this up. I'm not giving you any context. Ready?
No, but yeah, here we are. Hold on. Systems run slow.
IJ says, the Associated Press and Washington Post deleting her story last year because of no proof. Can I get the song twice? Because I also like Scribe's version. Yes, I did, and yes, I will. I also explained the story that I found based on the whole them deleting her thing from last year. It was still them not. It was still the same story. It wasn't the news story. The news story, the one with the actual digitizing, she did not tell that story until this year. She told the other one back, and I should look this up so I can stop saying I think it was in August of 2019. And yeah, the Associated Press sat on it. I'm not shocked. I mean, there were people who came forward at that time. It all started with the chick who said that Biden sniffed and kissed her hair, and there was a handful of people who came out and he touched me inappropriately too. And the whole digitizing still didn't come out until this year when she told it on that radio show she went on, or podcast, whatever the hell it was. But yes, I did look into it, and this one's for you, and a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear IJ. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, IJ. Hope you have a great one. Really do. And now on with the Biden
pandemic. The pandemic is that the president has no intercourse whatsoever with the rest of the world on dealing with these things.
The pandemic is that the president has no intercourse with the rest of the world.
From what I hear, he's had a lot of intercourse with the rest of the world.
I don't know what the rest of this goes on to say, so.
We led, like Barack Obama led in the in the pandemic that occurred when we were in office. It was kept in Africa. We organized the world. We put things together.
Wait. Whoa.
Yeah, back that shit up a little.
Wait. Did he just say... No, he didn't.
In the pandemic that occurred when we were in office, it was kept in Africa. We organized.
Well, that's how you stop a pandemic, folks. You keep it to them Negroes.
Yeah, he was talking about Ebola, but out of context. Wow.
And completely ignores N1H1.
Yeah, well, that's not a real thing. Just ask him.
Gillis says if it was kept in Africa, it's not a pandemic. That's true. That's true. A pandemic has to hit like 150 some countries out of the 180 worldwide. 180, I'm being general. Somebody, it's 183, monkey. I forget the exact number. You'll be fine.
Yeah, too damn many. How's that?
Yeah. Oh, man. So Trump's not fucking in the world enough. And if you want to stop a pandemic, just toss it down to them Africans and don't let it out. Man. Yeah. You wouldn't know he's talking about Ebola because, as was pointed out in the chat, that wasn't a pandemic. It was a horrible, awful disease, but it wasn't a pandemic. Check your logic says 204. I told you there'd be one of them, Jack. Damn it, monkey. Anyway.
Well, Biden, man, just get him off the stage. Like, come on.
They can't. They're stuck with him, man.
What the hell are they thinking?
They're hoping he dies.
Yeah, but as bad as he is, he probably will. Just not like they think it will work.
Where's that at? Oh, I think that just got clipped out of chat. Almost sounded like Captain Africa. Needs to get that hearing check. I'm assuming that's from the same day that he was on with Mika, because I didn't watch any of the rest of the interview. I only watched the part with Mika. I didn't watch when Joe came back on to kiss his ass because I don't care. That clip with Mika interview a couple of days ago, those recordings have my conversations with Obama on a certain subject, compelling propaganda. I railed about that quite a while, or a couple of times now. It is interesting to me that that still hasn't come up. I know it's not going to. I know that the idea that Joe Biden's public statements might be out there for the public to see is scary to the press because he's running against Don Trump and they want to beat him.
Yeah.
I remember H1N1 very well. I almost died of it back in 2009. I'm glad you survived, Roto.
Damn. Sorry to hear that.
N1H, or God, I keep doing that. H1N1 was rough for the people who got it, man. That was a big deal, and nobody panicked.
Yeah, they really downplayed that one.
Nobody panicked. They were just like, fuck it. There's some bird flu. Was that bird flu? I always get them mixed up because you have bird flu and swine flu and duck flu and dog flu, and there's all kinds of animal flus. People, stop fucking your animals. You're causing all kinds of problems.
Yeah, good luck with
that. Oh, that one was swine? All right. Fair enough.
Because wasn't one of them H1N1 and the other one was like H1N5 or something like that?
Yeah. They're all very closely related when it comes to their categorizing. They sound like the same. CoV-2. That's what this is. This is SARS-2. We don't talk about it because, CoV-2. The pandemic. It's fucking retarded. Swine flu came from guess where? Yeah. What else have they given us? I mean, they gave us fireworks. I mean, China's not all bad. Gunpowder.
Yeah, gunpowder. There's been a lot of stuff come out of China. The Black Death.
Oh, yeah. No, we saw we read an article tonight, Jack. There's evidence that this pandemic has been going on since last year. And it's really great if you read the article, because I almost corrected this earlier when IJ was talking about how last year the AP and the Washington Post buried that story on Tara Reade. Last year sounds so long ago. But we're just starting May. So when they say last year the coronavirus was already in Europe, yeah, that's because we know for a fact that it popped up at the end of November. The end of November in China. We also know China kept their fucking mouths shut about it as people traveled through one of the busiest hubs in the fucking universe. And so, yeah, the chance that it was spread earlier than we knew it was spread, that's very possible. That doesn't change anything other than the fact it brings the death numbers way down. It lowers the kill rate.
Yeah. I pulled up a list of great Chinese inventions.
Oh,
If you're interested. We got
yeah, in a second. Boraz, Browncoats Bose says, I've been saying for months that it's been in the wild since October. There's no medical evidence it's been out there since November, any earlier than November. I'll take your word for it that you had it. I know there's several people that I was sick last year. I'll take your word for it that you were sick. The medical evidence that we have right now still doesn't go back any further than November.
not yet.
Again, this is coming from China, though. That's the number that China has given us. So it could go back to April for all we fucking know.
Yeah.
So anyway, and I have to point that out, Jack, because we can't be conspiratorial about this because the WHO, they don't say it. So we have to got to go by their number.
Yeah, because they're not working for China or anything.
Not at all. Not at all. All right, give me the list of great Chinese inventions.
Paper.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Printing, wood block printing, and movable type were invented in China, and we tend to give it to Gutenberg, not our friend of the show Gutenberg, but Johannes Gutenberg. But he did a different type. Great ideas tend to float around. Gunpowder, the compass, the bell, wooden coffins, pottery, the pottery vessel, cookware, the dagger axe, which just sounds badass.
It really does.
Deep water drilling, fired bricks, lacquer, millet cultivation, the rowing oar, plastomancy, which is using turtle shells apparently to contain small pebbles. I don't really understand that one. It's something about drilling. The triangle-shaped plowshare, pottery steamer, the pottery urn, rice cultivation, a bunch of words I can't pronounce, soybean cultivation, and wet field cultivation. And it goes on from there, like acupuncture, animal zodiac, which thanks for that one, dickheads.
Soon we're going to have an animal zodiac of pandemics.
Right?
Thanks, China.
Yeah. The banknote, they did invent that. Biological pest control, the blast furnace, the bomb.
Well, I mean,
drilling. There's all kinds of crap they invented. It just goes on. Candle clocks, the cannon, cast iron.
it's amazing what you can achieve when your society doesn't completely collapse every couple of hundred of years.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can just keep building on shit. What have they done the past 500 years? Well,
that's a hate fact.
Now we're getting into the animal death zodiac. No, but it is, because if you look around, I mean, we talked the other day about shit that had been lost for when the Egyptians fell, or no, when Rome fell. Sorry. It's amazing what'll happen if you can just maintain a society. So stop trying to tear my shit down, people. I want more amazing advancements.
Right.
And
I
yet
want to
now
go to Mars, damn it.
Yeah. And yet now they steal all their tech. Well, they have to. They're communists. What are they going to do? Invent something?
Communism tends to stagnate your development.
When everybody has to think alike, innovation dies.
Yeah.
Let's see. But all that was ancient Chinese empires. Now it's all communist crap. Exactly, Evolve Potato. And it's a damn shame, too, because imagine what they could be achieving. Imagine what they could be achieving.
Yeah.
But they get the bread in the bread lines. Do they, Bernie? I feel like they don't.
I feel like they're in the line because there's no bread in the stores.
Yeah. Got to wait till somebody throws it to them out the window with COVID on it. Look at Cuba. Looks like they were frozen in time. It does. Oh my God. Go see. It's getting a little better now. A little bit. But yeah, go look at pictures of Cuba, guys. If you get anywhere outside of Havana, it's the 1950s. It looks like Fallout. The beginning of Fallout when you go in there, yeah, it looks like that. It's a 1950s place.
Yeah.
Even the cars on the street that they haven't pushed into the ocean to try to row over here. Yeah. They just ran out of gas and left them where they were.
Wow. On Streamlabs, thank you, Frank. I read that China invented the clock, then became isolationist. By the time they opened trade again, they had lost the invention, so when a traveler brought it there, the king was amazed. That happens throughout history more than you think. It doesn't surprise me if that's true at all.
Merle says they have cool old cars there. They do. But they're...
People live in them.
Yeah. What time we got? We're only an hour and a half, and I'm fading fast, Jack. I'm fading fast. Like metal dinosaurs. Kind of. I mean, they've still been... It's not like they've been regularly waxed. Car wax was not big on the communist agenda down there in Cuba. Make sure they're all waxed so the rain doesn't eat them away. How much does it rain in Cuba?
I don't know. That's a good question.
The first computer, you're talking about the abacus? I feel like the first computer was fingers. Just ask Joe Biden. I feel like that deserved a laugh.
I'm just going to let that one slide because we can't praise our future dear leader, Overlord Crazy Pants Biden.
If he wins.
If he wins, I'll think about moving to Canada. It's going to be such a shit show.
It will be.
What a nightmare. It'll be all Game of Thrones, people trying to get ready for whoever's VP is to take over. That's going to be awful, dude. I can't even imagine how bad Trump would have to fuck up for people to elect that guy.
Well, there's a strong vote blue no matter who. I'm glad they finally got a catchy phrase for that, because it used to just be anybody but Bush. Like that doesn't rhyme, shitbag. But now they got vote blue no matter who, which if you say that and you mean it, you might as well wear a shirt that says I'm a fucking moron. When people say that kind of stuff, Jack, I realize what they're actually saying is I will vote for whoever the Democrat is, even if it's Bernie Sanders or if it's Joe Biden or if it's Elizabeth Warren, blah, blah, blah. But when you say that, what you're saying literally is I would vote for Dahmer over Trump.
Yeah, look, I get not voting for Trump, but there are other parties you could vote for and maybe get them in some debates if they get enough.
How about have an actual fucking platform other than not Trump?
Yeah, that would seem to require more work.
I don't care if you don't want to vote for Trump, but have a reason for not voting for Trump other than, I don't like Trump. He did some stuff that I heard about. I never read it myself, but my uncle told me about it when he was touching me under the table with his foot. I may have exaggerated a little bit there at the end.
Were you?
Probably not, because a whole bunch of these fuckers seem like they've been touched by their uncle. Can you explain the blue hair a better way?
No,
No.
I really can't. Other than people are nuts. Look, I think it's ridiculous to vote for somebody just because they're running against the person you don't like.
Yeah.
Like you said, have a platform. If they're not aligned with you, vote for somebody else. Vote for a third party. Write somebody in. Whatever. You don't have to vote for one of the two big parties. You can vote for other people. And if enough people vote third party, eventually that third party might actually be able to go to actual real debates.
Yeah.
Because they need a certain amount of percentages to get up there. So if you're a libertarian, vote libertarian. If you're a communist, whatever, just vote for people that are more aligned with you. Not just some random hair sniffer that's losing his mind.
The problem is they don't want to lose the election. That's what it always comes down to when you talk third party. If you vote third party, you might as well be voting for Trump. No, I'm voting for the third party.
Yeah, you're never throwing your vote away if you're voting.
But it's a vote for Trump. Well, and by looking at it that way, it's also a vote for Biden, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Cancels out. Jack means vote for the Greens. Nobody means vote for the Greens. Even the Greens don't vote for the Greens.
That's true.
I do find it comically ironic that the left can't or won't say better dead than red about the red states. Ooh.
They might be dumb enough to... Somebody will be stupid enough to come up with that slogan. They won't understand the historical context.
Oh, you know what, Jack? That just made me want to make a shirt and sell it to these morons. New anti-commie gear. Better dead than red. And have it red states. I feel sad that Maps got... Oh, I'm not talking about Maps. I saw that pop up in chat. Okay, nope. Not on this show. A Wookiee would be a better choice. I don't know who we're talking about there. The only acceptable answer to 1984 is 1776. Yeah.
How'd you find an 8 in that?
I didn't. My brain was still hung up on the 8 from 1984. My brain gets stuck sometimes, Jack. I told you I'm fading fast, and you're making fun of me. How dare you?
It's funny.
Yeah. It is. I'm worried about our nation. I really am. And not if Biden wins. I'm really not. If Biden wins, I think the Republicans will be good little boys and girls and go just argue like they're supposed to.
Yeah.
If Trump wins, man, I don't know what's going to happen.
No one does.
I don't know if these little fragile eggshell motherfuckers can handle it.
I don't know. You saw how badly they took it when their Lord and Savior lost last time.
Don't forget that time AOC was talking or was with Bernie talking about flipping red states. Bernie was looking at her like, what the fuck? I don't have it.
She was talking about flipping states red.
Oh, there you go.
That was, she did.
I read it wrong.
Yeah, she didn't mean what she was saying.
She meant, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, she meant flipping red states instead of flipping states red. Gotcha. Yeah, I misread that. I apologize. I told you I'm fading. I probably should have ended already, but I want to give the people 2 hours of good entertainment, Jack.
I know. We try very hard.
Faithless says they rioted for a month. I just don't know what we'll see this time. As bad as it was, I mean, you had a lot of fucking morons talking a bunch of trash, but nobody really did anything. You had a little bit of the Antifa bullshit going on still, but that actually kind of died off maybe by the end of 2017, early 2018, except for up in Portland. I mean, they went to their nesting grounds. I don't know. You might see a whole bunch of people jump out of windows.
Yeah, they'll flip out, but it's just a matter of the extent of it. Because I really don't think they're handling somebody that has an opposing view very well.
What about all the celebs talking about moving to Canada but not Mexico for some reason? Oh yeah, we've talked about that.
Because nobody wants to go to Mexico.
I'm moving to Canada. There were some who were going to go to England. Some were smart, like I'm going to live in the Caymans. But yeah, nobody said they were going to Mexico because nobody wants to live in Mexico, even Mexicans. That's why they're here. And it's not that Mexico is a bad place. It's that cartels make Mexico a bad place. And the corrupt politicians who let cartels become such a big thing make it a bad place. Because that part can't be overlooked, Jack. It's not like the cartels came bursting in there and started demanding protection money. The government allowed them to grow.
Yeah, and they're corrupt as hell. So that problem isn't going to fix itself.
No. But see, it doesn't matter anyway because none of them left. None of them are going to leave because they're a bunch of liars.
Yeah.
They might bitch and moan about how things are run here, but they're not going somewhere where they can't bitch and moan about how things are run.
Yeah, everybody bitches and moans. It's part of the fun of being alive. Keeps you from going crazy.
Let's take any of them who love communism. You won't see them move to China. You won't see them move to even Russia, man. They're not even going there. It's not even communist anymore. They're not going to any place where they're not allowed to speak. They'll tell you how you shouldn't be allowed to use hate speech, Jack. But nobody's going to tell them what they can and cannot say. You know why? Because they're here in America and they'd rather be here than anywhere else because as dumb as they are, they're not that dumb. Mexico.
And they're here to educate the masses.
Indeed. They want to ruin my country instead. Mexico is a lovely country. They just keep making mistakes. Corruption, man. Corruption will do it every time. Look at Chicago. Look at New Orleans. Dallas, as people were saying earlier.
Yeah.
As disingenuous. You know, it's supposed to be this big fuck you. Ha ha. I will move if you win. No, you won't. Shut up, bitch. Shut up. Until I see a plane ticket, shut up. You can always get it refunded. Fuck, you're rich. You don't even need it refunded. Didn't Miley Cyrus actually try moving somewhere?
She said she was going to go to Australia, but she never did.
Yeah, she even married an Aussie, and that didn't stay together.
Nah, they're divorced already, I think.
He probably got a scab.
I don't know. I think that goes both ways on that front.
He doesn't really seem that dirty.
I don't know. I think he's got a small head for his body. I don't trust people like that.
Perhaps. They won't have it. Well, see, that's the funny thing about all the people who are complaining that I'm going to Canada, and Canada got or heard so many of those stories. They actually came out and went, "No, you're not."
Well, to be fair, if I was Australia, I'd rather have Miley Cyrus than Riley Dennis.
Sure, and somehow Riley got in.
Yeah, I think Riley snuck in.
What? I don't know what the hell this is. I hate when I look at stuff and have no context. Like, I need to know what's going on here. And then sometimes it's like, I don't even want to know. Jack, I think we're going to wrap up here because I'm done. I'm done. Guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight. I apologize. I've been so tired lately, Jack. I don't know what it is. I feel sorry for Liam Hemsworth. He got something from that skank. I told you he probably got a scab, man. His balls is probably all blistered now. They rubbed hers, and now they're all blistered. Thanks for coming by, guys. Thank you so very much for the donations. Jack, is there anything you'd like to shill tonight?
I'll throw a link to my latest video in, and thank you so much for the donations. You guys are amazing. And thanks for listening to me rant. I was a little bitchy at the beginning.
Tonight, we're going to be on my channel, 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Lords of the Night. Fuck, man, I'm gone. Come hang out. There's no game stream, but Lords of the Night's always fun, so come check that out. Audience, Jack, thank you guys for joining me. Everybody, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.
I'm so tired.